Did you know that appraisals are one of the largest fall-throughs on a contract? It can range anywhere from 8 to 20% depending on the market you're in. And if you're in that small percentage, it's a big deal. So in this video, I'm going to give you 4 tips and tricks. One is, what is an appraisal? 2, what do appraisers look for? 3, what hurts an appraisal? And number 4, what to do if a low appraisal comes in. So stay tuned. I want to help you with your contract. Hi, I'm Maria Wells, broker owner of Lifestyle Realty Group here on the Treasure Coast of Florida. So let's get started about all the issues with appraisals. So number 1, what is an appraisal? So an appraisal is the opinion of value based upon data obtained from the marketplace. It doesn't matter what the buyer is willing to pay, and it certainly doesn't matter what the seller is asking for the buyer to pay. When markets move fast, like we have right now with the seller's market, many times it is hard for appraisers to keep up because they have to look at sales that have happened in the past, yet the market is moving forward with only so much inventory. So number 2, what do appraisers look for and what can you do? So make sure that you've done some of these things. So is your home energy efficient? Have you replaced the windows? Possibly a new efficient hot water heater, solar power, whatever that might be, becomes very, very important. Also, fencing is a good plus that appraisers look for. Have you replaced your roof? Has it been leaking? Can you see leaks within the home? That deferred maintenance really counts, that you have taken care of your home, replaced the roof. A new roof adds a lot of value when you are selling the home. And compile a brag sheet, whether you do it or your realtor does it, but make sure you list all of the improvements that you have done for your home so it can be handed to the appraiser when they come and are going to take information back to do your appraisal. And make sure that the appraiser is geographically competent. That's when you speak to your realtor, when they're meeting with them, to make sure that it is going to be someone who's familiar with the area. And buyers, when you are doing or working with a lender, ask if the appraisers are going to be locally competent, so when they do your appraisal that they're going to be fair to you to make sure that this deal works. So number 3, what hurts an appraisal that you can control? So typically not having a realtor can really actually hurt you, because realtors will place a property for sale at current market value, which really works together with the appraisers. Deferred maintenance, if you've neglected anything around the home, it needs painting, scuff marks, landscaping hasn't been kept up, all of those things, even though landscaping doesn't add a lot, it's that whole curb appeal that appraiser will look at the condition of the home. As I mentioned before, your roof. Make sure that either your roof has been repaired or replaced if it's end of life. Dated or undesirable finishes. So, you can't have the avocado green appliances and yellow harvest gold appliances. You need to have brought it up to date, because that's really going to count when the appraisal is marking the condition of a home. Over improvement. If you live in an area that, let's say that most of the homes are tile or carpet, and you put in marble floors, well, you're really not going to get credit for that over improvement. Also, if you have done improvements and updated your kitchen, please make sure that it's with current color schemes. For instance, if you have quartz counters, don't have them green and white appliances. That will not give you the credit for improvement that you would want. And also there are things called obsolescence. So for instance, a home that has 1 bathroom when most of them have 2, or the floor plan is a little outdated. Now, this does not mean that older homes don't appraise. They will, as long as they've been maintained and kept up to date. Also, there are some factors that you can't control. There may be no comparable properties in your area for them to be able to look at. The market conditions, if it's a seller's market and things are selling higher and higher prices, but some of those homes haven't closed and you're trying to hit a mark, whether you're a seller for a certain price or a buyer because you know there's no other homes at this price range, that can actually be very challenging for appraiser. So the factors that may or may not affect your appraisal could be location. It's in a good school district, busy streets, the home layout, as I mentioned, whether it's obsolescent or a good layout. So number 4, what can you do if you come in with a low appraisal? Well, first off, have it challenged. Look to see, did they use current comparables? Make sure that the comparables that they did use are really equivalent to your home. Sometimes you can challenge that appraisal if you do find these mistakes. And if you can't, then at that point, and that's where it is, and you can't order another one, then there's 3 things that can happen. Either the buyer can bring more money to the table, and it doesn't mean that the appraiser has the correct value of the home. It only means what they could find for sold properties at the time. So even if you have to bring more money to the table, it doesn't mean that you're paying or overpaying for the home. So if the buyer's willing to do that, or the seller comes down in price, or the deal is over. I mean, that's just what's going to happen with the appraisal. But I can tell you, if there is a motivated buyer and a motivated seller, you can make any contract work. Happy house hunting.